Okay, this is our last day with definite integrals. The first thing I want to look at is a problem that looks like this. Determine which value best approximates the definite integral. Make your selection on the basis of the sketch. So we're not actually going to figure this out. We're just going to sketch a picture, and then we're going to base our selection A, B, C, D, or E upon or from this sketch that we're going to make. So we are going to talk about from 0 to 1/2 only. So I'm going to break this up just a little bit to see if I can get some point values. If I plug in 0 into this problem, what I end up getting is I get 4 cosine of 0. Well, the cosine of 0 is 1, and so 4 times 1 would be 4. So that means the height of this graph goes up to 4 at 0. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this value. I'm going to replace it with a 1/4. So I'd have pi times 1/4. Well, pi over 4 would be, the cosine of pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2. Square root of 2 over 2 times 4. That would end up giving me 2 square root of 2. So, we'd be somewhere in here with our value. And then when I'd plug in 1/2, I'd get the cosine of pi over 2. The cosine of pi over 2 is 0, so I end up with 0 as my graph. So we know that this would look something like this. And even though it didn't go to that point, I didn't have 2 square root of 2 marked exactly anyways. We're just going to try to figure out which of these is the best answer here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to break this up into 2 chunks, see if I can figure out from there what would be my best selection. If you want, we could just do maybe a rectangle here and maybe a triangle here. We'll see what values we get for that. So this would be base times height. It would be 1/4 times 4. So it would be a value of 1 for the area, that first rectangle. And then here we have a triangle. If we want to use a triangle, to use 1/2 base times height. That would be 1/2. The base would be 1/4. And then the height of this triangle would be 2 square root of 2. We can go ahead and use that, I guess. 2 square root of 2, that would cancel. I'd get square root of 2 over 4. Well, I need to bring out my calculator in order to figure out what the square root of 2 over 4 is. So let's go ahead and do that. The square root of 2, so 2 the square root plus, actually I'm not plussing, I'm dividing. So let's see if I can backtrack that. Let's try that again. 2, square root of 2 divided by 4 equals about 0.35. So I have now 1 plus 0.35. Well, out of my selections, it looks like this one would be the best choice because that would be 1.333 repeating. Okay, this next problem says determine whether the statement is true or false. If false, give an explanation of why. So this starts out by saying that if f is increasing on a to b, so I will draw an interval from a to b, and it says that f is increasing, and it is a closed interval, then then the minimum value of f of x on a to b is f of a. This is always increasing, so this has to be its lowest point no matter what. So this has to be a true statement.